You're listening to an East Coast Guild podcast. Check us out at eastcoastguild.com. Back to Palentines, episode 4. I didn't forget. I actually knew it. I just made it sound like I didn't. You guys aren't going to believe that at all.
I forgot.
I did actually know what it was. So, if you guys are new here, please, thank you so much for being here. Please give us some type of rating, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. If you guys would like to watch it live, please go to youtube.com/c/kiloohms. And that'll take you to my YouTube, which is a great way to go about it. Now, if you guys want to catch up with me, Twitter is the best way. If you want to see what I'm eating, you can go to my Instagram. But, oh well. Most of the time, though, we are paid. Well, actually, I need to change some stuff on here because I have some things that are on here. Is that what I want, though? We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. We very much appreciate it. Oh no, I guess I switched the East Coast Guild stuff on here, and I think I just never switched it back. I'm gonna change that real quick.
Change it real quick.
If you guys would like to see more of our podcasts and stuff, please go check out eastcoastguild.com. They sponsor us for doing things, and they're really cool, and at least one of them's pretty cute.
Yeah.
And that's my brother-in-law.
No, it's you too. No, stop it. Stop it.
So, make sure you check them out. Again, if you guys want to watch it live, go to youtube.com/c/kiloohms, and you can watch it live. We try to do it once a week, once every other week.
Yes.
Just depending on our lives. We're busy. We're busy people. But we do enjoy doing it.
I don't sleep very well. So, hi.
Yes. And then if you guys
probably my fault.
Also want to support East Coast Guild in any other way, please consider going to their Patreon, which is patreon.com/East Coast Guild. And that actually helps fund it more so we can do more podcasts and more fun things like this to help you guys out.
Yeah. Whatever you're able to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't feel like it's never enough.
There's tiers as low as $5. There's tiers as high as like $200. So there's everything in between. So if you only were like, oh my gosh, I used to be Twitch subbed to Kiloohms and now he doesn't do Twitch anymore, Patreon's a great place to show that support. And it goes to the same person because I run the business. So
there you go. See,
it's a great way to go about it. But that's not why you guys are here today. You guys are actually here to hear us talk about things. And you know what? The funny part is this is the one that's not about Star Wars. Innately. I'm not going to say that it won't somehow come up because it always does.
It always comes up.
But it is not innately about Star Wars. We're going to be talking about a game.
I could use it immediately when you said that, and that's even worse. From Star Wars. That's not just.
Oh no.
It's my brain. It's my brain.
But we're going to be talking about the game Outriders today. If you haven't seen it, it is a new looter shooter with a demo coming in late February, and it comes out in April of this year.
Only, right?
It is co-op. It might end up being. It has a multiplayer. It does have a PvP.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure what that
I don't know how it's going to work and how they're going to. I don't know how they're going to balance things because there's going to be characters innately, like there's a tank character and they're going to innately not put out as much damage as others. So I don't know how the balance for it's going to be. I'm not going to play it in the first place.
I might.
I might try it.
Like squad based, it might be pretty fun. You know what I mean? So could be good. I'm not gonna play it right away either when the game first comes out. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
I've been hurt too many times with looter shooters that promise big things.
Destiny.
That I know, not even just Destiny.
Mostly Destiny.
Borderlands 3 is pretty all over the place in terms of quality.
Borderlands 3 was really good, except for when it ended. Because once you got through the main story, there was no drive to keep playing. And that was my
problem. In every of the games, though. That's in all 3 of them, or all 4 if you want to count pre-sequel.
I think you should, but yeah.
So,
in the whole series.
Yeah.
And it's because you run out of the content before the DLC drops. But then, like, once it's dropped, I'm like, I don't really want to go back and play the DLC. Especially with the fact that they nerfed so much crap.
They nerfed they nerfed Flak. They buffed the Siren because she was too weak.
Yeah.
Like, I want the game to come out, and I want the character to stay the same. If you want to fix, if one character is performing less than you want, fix that one character. Do not hurt my boy because your other characters are crap. That's not my fault. That's your fault.
Don't hurt my gender-neutral, beautiful robot beast.
This is the example.
Roadhog had happened to him. Happened to Flack. Poor Flack.
My boy. I have trust issues with game developers, and people are like, "Why don't you want to play Overwatch anymore?" It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna hate it next week.
No, that's completely fair. I completely agree with you. All right, so Outriders looks like a really cool game. I've watched all the character trailers. I've told Panda stuff about the character trailers, but Panda, being Panda, was like, I'm not going to watch the character trailers. And I don't blame him for not watching them. I respect that. I'm just, I did watch them. I'm very much ready for them. And looking at their tree just off of the thing, I'm super duper excited. I'm also super duper excited because of just who the developer is. Like, the fact that it's a Square Enix game already makes me like, hoo hoo. Exactly. Because I'm like, the game looks amazing. I've enjoyed it. From the gameplay is really unique. They don't have healing items in the game. You heal off hurting people. Like, you heal by being aggressive in a fight.
Wait,
and I was like,
who was that for?
That was for all of them. It's for the game.
Okay.
Like, that's just now. No, they do have different. They have different healing abilities. They do have different healing ability. Like, it procs off different things, right, and stuff like that. But you get healed outside of combat by being aggressive in combat.
Nice. That does sound pretty cool.
And like, I'm like, you mean you're gonna reward me for being gung ho and, you know, going deep? I'm ready.
Whatever that could be. Whatever that deep could have been. That could have been anything, you know?
It could have, but like, I'm super stoked for that. I could be Aardvark deep. I mean, the other cool part, no microtransactions, not free to play. So like, you kind of won't have what happened in Destiny with the cheater situation in PvP.
Yeah, that
people
got bad
can
real
just
fast.
make burner accounts and.
Yeah, that got bad really fast. Like, it went from like pretty like okay and like annoying to like us PvE players to like annoying for everyone.
Yeah. It was a big thing. It will also have smart delivery and a free upgrade for PS5. I think it will also end up getting a free upgrade to the series, they put to the 1X, but I think it's the 1 Series X.
Yeah, the series.
And then they
series
put the series, they instead of putting, because it's the Xbox Series S, they just put the Xbox One X, and I don't know why. But they also put the Xbox Series S, so that means that it will go to the next,
the
next
higher
set
version,
platform. So that's really cool.
No, that's awesome. I don't know. I'm like, I want to see. I want it to come out, and I might pick it up day one. We'll see.
I will be playing it day one.
It's just, I don't know.
Oh, that's the other thing. Will Outriders feature PvP? The question of PvP is asked a lot, but right now, from the earliest concept, Outriders has been designed as a PvE game. We're committed to making this the best single player and co-op RPG shooter out there.
I like that they said single and co-op, so
yes.
it'll work without
the way they have stuff built is like amazingly synergistic, that you can run any character on their own, but they thrive in a group. They thrive more in a group.
So much like Anthem to me. I'm just so like,
yeah, no, it gives a lot of Anthem vibes, which,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Anthem was an amazing game, but it was too short.
We had fun with it even after it came out. We did the event stuff, and we hung out for a little bit afterwards.
Yeah,
here and there, and it was all right. You know,
Anthem was wonderful.
It was just too little. It was very, very sparse in content. So the fact that they're like, "Hey, we're not doing extra content. What you see is what you get, but you're gonna get like at least 30 hours." So
they did also. I did also do some digging. They might end up doing DLCs, but it will not, like, as of the beginning, It's a what you get is what you get.
Yeah. Okay. They're really just gonna see how
yeah, they want to see they want to see how much people like it. They'll probably, any type of RPG game is always open ended enough to have more added on.
Yeah. Even just areas like storylines and stuff. That's fine. You don't even need to build on the stuff you already built on. That's fine. If you want to only make side stuff, you're done with the main story for that one. You want to make a sequel? That's fine too.
Yeah.
We talked about that. It's better. I'd rather get sequels. I'd rather have Outriders 11 than Outriders 2 being out for 3 years and then losing all the content that I liked from Outriders 2 in the big get-go.
You're right. I also agree that I would rather wait a year or two to get a full. I would rather wait 2 to 3 years to get a full game. Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, God of Boy, right? God of Boy was considered an amazing and spectacular game, and it was not forced to be played after you were done. And it stood alone, and it sat well in people's mouths. It tasted good when you were done. It didn't leave a sour taste. So it was good, and it was solid.
And then it left you with a couple questions for the next one.
Yeah, so, and it wanted you're interested in God of Boy 2, but you're also
God of Boy.
Because he's because it separates it from being God of War, because...
No, but Dad of Boy.
Dad of Boy? We'll just go with Dad of Boy.
Dad of Boy.
Dad of Boy.
Because God of Boy just sounds weird and wrong, and I don't like it.
I've always said God of Boy. But anyway, so
this is you. I love you. You can do that.
Dad of Boy is going. It left that good taste in your mouth. I think that this game will too. They said that the game with the main campaign on a single class will take 25 to 30 hours, but it'll take 2 to 3 times that long if you play all the side quests, post-campaign, and additional content.
Nice.
And they've made sure that there's... I'm reading this, by the way. If you want to get any of this information for yourself, I'm reading it off of the FAQ on outriders.squareenixgames.com. There's some dashes in there, but I'm not doing it for you. You can look it up. You'll find it.
I believe you.
Once we've made sure that there's no right or wrong way to play the game, and that you'll always have a great experience. If you want to complete the main campaign, you'll experience a full story and have a great time with this game. But if you want to spend more time in the world of Outriders, getting the best items and taking on the hardest challenges in the game, it can keep you busy for exponentially longer.
Nice.
Because there are 14 dungeons post-game. And there are 15 different world tiers, which are different difficulties, just like an Anthem. So you have 15 different difficulties, which can give you different gear. So the harder the difficulty, the better the gear.
Okay, yeah.
And there's some gear you cannot get at lower world tiers. So if you have to be, you have to be at world tier 10 to get a legendary, possibly, or an exotic, right? Because I don't know what they're gonna call them, but.
I don't think anybody does that. I don't know what they do.
They might have. They might have. Well, they've posted about them. So I think they're legendaries in their game. I'll check their Twitter.
That's what I was about to do. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna have it up just so I have it up anyway. But yeah, because they also have weapon. They have full ammo sets or full armor sets, which are 5 pieces of armor, and they give you stuff give you bonuses.
Yeah.
They're legendary. It's legendary gear.
Okay.
Because they have legendary guns and gloves and legendary armors. It's super cool just for the pure fact that you get to basically min-max as much as you want while still creating a fun experience for you to live through.
Yeah. And you get to pick and choose. Yeah. It's not this is the best. So,
yeah.
Just use this.
Yeah, and that's the thing is so you get to find out what build might be the best for each situation. But here's the thing: the build you use for the first 3 dungeons post game might not work for the next 3. So now you have to redo your tree, which is free. You get to reset your tree whenever you want, and it doesn't cost you any in-game money, doesn't cost you any items. It is just free. And you get up to 20 ability points. So you can fill up one full tree plus like 7 side abilities. Was what I was noticing in the videos. And that's at a minimum. They might give you a little bit more.
Yeah, after you actually like complete everything, you might be able to just max out.
Yeah, you might get more. I don't know. And so I'm like, cool. I thought it was really cool. So you get to do that, and then you can also then be like, I really like this build setup. I'm now gonna go and find you know, a weapon to match this build, because all of the different guns and stuff have abilities that can make it even better for you and for your character class.
I love and dislike the textures for the actual character models. Everything else looks amazing, but I'm like real right on the fence there. Some of it looks really sick, and then some of it looks very like, here's a flat texture. There you go. I'm just looking at it.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. I completely understand. I mean, I think that it's definitely a more realistic. Definitely more realistic.
Yeah, no, I like it. No, it's not bad. Like I said, it's just like it's just a little getting used to, but nothing bad.
Oh my gosh! Holy crap! That is breaking news.
What is?
Well, it's breaking news as of 3 hours ago. But apparently, EA has decided the fate of Anthem.
Oof. So I guess we can talk about that then.
Oh, apparently, this week EA will review the progress of Anthem Next, which was Anthem 2.0, and decide whether to expand the team or put an end to the project. So we'll know at the end of this week if the game is done.
Nope, sounds like next time that's what we're going to be talking about.
Looks like next week we're going to be talking about the death of Anthem. And how long is it going to be until the Destiny community agrees?
Huh?
What?
It's not going to die anytime soon.
I know.
They will fight over each other until there's one person left standing.
I know. Also, February 25th is going to be the beta.
Okay.
So I'll probably try to play
the pre-order.
I plan on pre-ordering the game.
I don't have money. So I'm gonna so is it free or is it like
I don't know. I haven't seen the information on it. Like
Outriders public beta.
And they don't have anything in their FAQ about it either, so I don't know. I like the fact that this actually seems like it's an appropriate amount of time to do a beta, because they can still make changes. Like, it's still 2 months away. So I like that.
Yeah.
That makes me happy, at least. Let's see. But yeah, no, I'm super excited about this game. I think it's gonna be a good looter shooter. It's gonna be very, very, very gory. Very gory. Which honestly I'm okay with. Like, I mean, I like Borderlands. I played Borderlands.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It's a part of it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like when you get if you don't have that satisfaction of like just the visual chaos, like it's not as,
Yeah, it's not. The other thing that's really exciting is the 4 different classes. There's the Technomancer, the Pyromancer. There's somebody that they're basically like a hunter. It's hard to find all the stinking yeah, it's like finding all the stuff I need without going to like their YouTube to see all the classes. Which I'm going to their YouTube. They're doing a live thing, right? Oh no, that's somebody else that's doing something that they do. I don't know. Outriders. I just want to go to Outriders. I want to go to their stuff.
I'm trying to find it.
It's like getting it's Legacy Gaming. Legacy Gaming is the studio.
Okay.
So I think it is. Nope, it's not. That's a guy that's doing news on it. Finding.
I think it might just be. Oh no. Okay, here we go.
It is Outriders. I found it.
No, people can fly. People can fly.
Oh, that'll be. interesting. So on the Outriders thing, there is, they have the Technomancer, the Devastator, the Pyromancer, and the Trickster.
Okay.
And the Trickster is like a hunter from Destiny. The Pyromancer is like a mid-range fire, wielding, like kind of warlocky. If I'm going to connect it to anything, it's kind of warlocky. The Devastator, which is the class that you and I will probably play, and we will probably thick boy the crap out of it because he is a thick boy. And then the cool part is about him, he has this ability where he punches the ground and impales people on spikes.
Ooh, I like that.
And he also has a better shoulder charge than the Titans. He jumps up in the air and like slams the ground and then leaves an earthquake shockwave effect. Like,
for sweet. I like
chef kiss. And then lastly, there's the Technomancer. They said that class is probably the most suited for solo players because of its healing abilities. Like,
gotcha.
Because it can heal itself and its whole team, whereas the other ones can just heal themselves. Like, it is the most supporty support. But if you're playing a Technomancer, you're sniping. You're sniper class.
Yeah, like scout rifles probably around there.
Yeah.
DMRs.
Yeah, DMRs and snipers. Like, that's what you're using.
Precision, yeah.
And so it was really cool to listen to them talk about it because it was like you got to hear the difference between it all. And I haven't really watched a lot of their gameplay stuff because I don't want to. I don't want to be too spoiled, but like I'm hoping that their beta is like Destiny 1's beta. Up to level 7 or up to level 5, up to a few levels, get to play a few missions and explore the world. That's it. Like, just get to run around, have some fun.
Maybe down.
That
just
was
like one mission, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was amazing. Like, I really enjoyed it. I will probably play it and see how much content I can pull out of it. Wring it dry, if you will.
Wring it dry. See, that's the thing though. I just want to enjoy it. You know what I mean? I just want to relax and enjoy it to an extent too. I don't want to overdo it and then burn out on it and then hate it because I've spent the first week spending 30 hours on it and then beat it.
My thing is, I didn't burn out on Destiny until I was done with the campaign. My hype for Destiny held from my summer class that I took in college the year it got announced to the actual release and like the beta and everything. Like, I found the game shortly before the beta, like a few months before the beta. Yeah. Played the beta, then it came out and we played it until like all the way through House of Wolves.
Yes, I didn't even do that.
And once we got through House of Wolves, the game like died for me because that was the end of the content. Like, we did the main campaign and then it was Dark Below was not too long after. It was like a couple months.
Dark Below was not.
And then
I played a little bit of Dark Below because I finally hopped back on. I was like, let me check this out because I had both DLCs. And I was like,
It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't like the worst thing ever. I've played worse games, but
oh yeah, I have too. And then House of Wolves, I enjoyed. Okay. It was all right. But then like it didn't have anything until Taken King.
Yep. But Taken King was huge.
It was, but it was like you said, like I'd rather have a 2 than a.
But I don't think Taken King took anything away really from the main game.
It didn't. It's just the fact of like it's the problem with Destiny is constantly the content drought.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a finite end and them say, okay, now we're gonna start doing new things.
Or at least like instead of giving us like House of Wolves and Dark Below, like just add that up with Taken King and just work on all that. And then it can all come out.
I'm only going to disagree on that because the only reason I think a lot of people kept playing longer was because of those 2 DLCs.
That's fair.
Like those small DLCs coming out every 2 to 3 months, which was not sustainable in any way.
No.
Was the best system. Was the best system for that game for me.
Yeah.
Because it felt like I had constant stuff. Well, I could put the game down for a month and come back in. I can't put the game down for a month now. Like, I'm too far behind.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like COD. It used to be like that. Like it used to be like, okay, you get like, here's your next, map pack. You get, 4 multiplayer maps and a zombies map. And then they just now everything's like we have to be a live game service, and I'm like, I like it for some things, but everything being it is like too much. So like this game does seem like
Well,
really refreshing for the fact that it's gonna be like,
yeah,
hey, here's the game. And sure, we
it'll
might have
feel a
to
lot
update it,
more. It'll feel a
more
lot more
like,
like Borderlands, I think.
but I think it might do better because if it has like solid like at least some kind of like solid structure underneath it, and not just we're trolling you at the end of the game, then it might actually get somewhere.
Yeah.
Because that's all Borderlands ever was a joke. The games have always been jokes. Like now they're starting to get serious, and that's great, and I'm okay. I'm here for it, and it's all good. But like, it took us 4 games to get to like a serious point. Like even
It did.
2, like with its serious moments, it's still like, and we're cracking jokes immediately after it. This one, yeah, they're doing that still, but it's still there's characters that you see are like in pain instead of like
Well,
just
and it's like there's actually like a cadence now,
yeah.
which
It's
was
like, what are we doing now? Yeah.
which I did like. I liked that there was a cadence and like an understanding. Like, oh no, I still felt like it was maybe it was just felt like a little
Sorry,
slow.
Yeah, no, it was.
And then it was a
slow,
little
but I think
short.
it was.
Like it
I
ended
think the
short.
pacing still is good though.
It was.
Like,
I just
bad.
hated the ending. The ending left such a bad taste in my mouth for Borderlands 3.
You really hated the ending. I didn't hate
I
the
was
ending.
so
I was
pissed.
like, oh, that was it.
I just
Okay.
you spend 40 hours going to save this, and then she chucks herself into the fucking moon.
It's true. Those will happen.
Like
And I think some of the DLC does work with like go off of that, but
that was just that really bugged me. I was like, what was the point in saving your butt then? Like
not much.
I don't know. I felt like I understood that it was an
Borderlands is like
it felt
the endings are always like
yeah.
a huge
Well,
tease.
and it was like
think of honestly.
And it was like it sucked because with Borderlands 3, it didn't feel like a Borderlands ending. And what I mean by that is like
I would say it does, but
I didn't feel like it did because like I'm not gonna lie. Nobody really sacrificed themselves like that at the very end. Like Roland didn't even sacrifice himself. He just got bodied.
Yeah, he got done dirty.
He just got bodied and done dirty. But like,
I think it become with the pre-sequel though. That's what I mean. That's the thing.
Well, and I didn't finish that too. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it ends just as bittersweet as all of them. So that's the thing. They're all bittersweet. That's the thing. It's not like they're all like. I wouldn't say that they're all like someone sacrificing themselves, because even in the first one, there's not really anyone sacrificing themselves, like necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I felt like 2 ended very well.
Yeah.
I felt like
2 was the most solid out of all of them. 2 is probably the most solid start to finish because it has the most content and bang for your buck, especially with the DLC.
Oh my gosh,
the DLC was really good in 2.
The D&D DLC literally brought me to tears.
Well, that's the thing is like, yeah, it was great. I didn't finish it, but the Torg one's awesome, and that's like the first one. Usually the first one they put out is kind of eh. The first DLC for Borderlands 2 was going out swinging. Like
the D&D the D&D one. Well, and that was later on, I think.
Yeah, that was the second or third one.
But like, it was cool because it was Tina dealing with the death of Roland.
Yeah. Oh, the first one was okay. No, I was wrong. Actually, that was the second one. The first one was the Pirate DLC, which is still good. I love the Pirate DLC. But yeah, Tiny Tina's Bunkers and BAs.
Yeah, Bunkers and BAs. 3 was a little annoying because they were making fun of content creators, but I also was like, oh no. If you don't like the spoilers, I'm sorry. The game came out. When did Borderlands 2 come out?
Yeah. A while ago. 2014? 2013? 2013, I think. Oh, that's my final answer. That's my guess.
2013 is your final answer.
Final answer. Yep. Locking in.
Do do do. Ba-ba. That is incorrect. September 18th, 2012.
That was a year off. That's fine.
You were a year off. You were close.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm not going to feel bad for a game that came out 9 years ago.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Borderlands 3. If you wanted to play it by now, you'd have played it. Like that's
on sale a crap ton on Steam.
It was on sale though. It was on sale like within a month.
Yeah. That's on you.
I will not feel bad about that. Any game we talk about with spoilers.
Nah. If it's new, then yeah, we'll be like spoiler.
You play the opening and couldn't get into it. That happens too. Like I don't know. Borderlands 1 didn't catch my attention.
I mean, Sando still hasn't really gotten caught by any of them, so
yeah, he said he only got caught by pre-sequel.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, hey, teach their own, you know. And the pre-sequel's pretty good. Yeah, it has
It's
a
not
good
bad.
flow, honestly.
The biggest problem.
That's your problem.
The biggest problem with Borderlands 3, Silent, is exactly what you said. They nerfed everything.
Yeah.
They took a game that was literally the point of it was power, like feeling overpowered.
Yeah.
And then
that's what all the looter shooters do. They keep getting like to the point where they're like, we want to make it balanced. Like, no, that's not fun. The balance is not what we play these games for.
No, yeah, let me be OP. Like,
exactly.
Leave my Vex Mythic class alone. Turn it back to the way it was, Bungie. Like, just let me have it. That thing was disgusting. It was the hardest gun. It was one of the hardest guns to get in the game.
I never tried to.
Oh, I did. I got it on like, well, actually, I didn't really try. I got it on my like third try. I got it on my second or third like attempt.
There you go. Well, I mean, hey, that's not bad still. You know what I mean?
I never got.
Things,
and then I never got Galahorn.
Remember times we did Garden and didn't get it done? 2 to 3 is nothing. 2 to 3 is
Garden.
What?
A garden of grass.
Garden of grass.
More like garden of. But anyway, it's one of those things like
it's gonna be talked about. It's a looter shooter. It's just unfortunately.
Yeah, we're talking about looter shooters pretty much at this point. Like nerfing things to balance in a PvE standpoint, don't do it.
Yeah, that's what I said to you, Kai, earlier in the podcast. Buff the underperforming to be on par.
Yes. And
you want everything to be balanced, then fix the other characters. Don't nerf this guy because he's that good.
Or make it balanced from the get-go.
Which it sounds like they are working on with this game, which makes me excited. Look at that segue. I did a thing. Did you see
great.
That?
Outriders is going to be an amazing game. I would not expect it to be like Anthem or like Destiny in the fact that they wanted to have a long run.
Yeah.
Square and the team that's working on it has very much said, we are done. And they're like, we might do DLCs. But otherwise, no.
Yeah, it's like, and that's fine. Like if we get DLC and we're like, oh, let's check it out. You know what I mean? We like Outriders, and then the DLC is amazing. Like, sweet, we get some more content.
Yeah,
you know how to play.
I'm super excited for the post game content because like 14 dungeons that we're gonna have to figure out how to do each of them. Oh, buddy, it's like getting I have a feeling it's gonna be like 14 strikes. It's like doing 14 of those Anthem dungeons. You remember those?
Yeah.
The Anthem dude. The first like when we were doing that for a while, it was
now the Anthem creation, what was it called?
Yeah, it was
for it.
Oh, that was their raid, their Cataclysm.
Cataclysms, yeah, those are cool too. I did one of those, but that was I only did like one of those.
Like,
but, you know,
that was the worst part about Anthem was like it had such potential and they just like threw it on its face.
Yep. Well, it wasn't even that. They just didn't do anything with it. They just let it like decay and die.
And then they tried to pick it up like half a year later.
And they're like, oh, we're gonna do. It's like, what happened? Remember the roadmap that we were all asking for that you didn't put out, and then now we're here, and now you want to fix the game.
I blame EA on that way more than I do the team.
Oh no, I don't blame them at all. That's the thing about like EA owning a company. They don't take any of the fault, and it's always their fault. Yeah. It's like Activision. Activision's getting there. We're approaching there with Activision. I really hope they don't cross over that line that EA crossed years ago. Remember PopCap? Remember Visceral? Gone, dead. If they kill Treyarch, I'm rioting. I will go to wherever the headquarters are, and I'll just get a picket fence, and I'll just sleep there. That's my life now. We'll just stream for the right outside EA.
I mean, that's going to be the thing to see what happens. I mean, it's just like finding out what's going to happen with Anthem next. Which they did have, that's trending on Twitter again for me. Yeah. It's trending in video games for me. And it's because Paul Tassi and Jason Schreier, I don't know how to say his name. Sorry, Jason. They both put up. I know you're talking about, but I don't even know how. I don't like can't even remember. Yeah, it's the guy. It's the one who does Bloomberg, and then the guy, and then Paul Tassi does Forbes. They both put up stuff.
Forbes? That's crazy.
Yeah, Tassi does Forbes. He does stuff. He does stuff for Forbes. I don't know that he runs it. But he does stuff for Forbes.
Yeah,
so,
I've seen the name around.
Because I follow him because he writes a lot of Destiny opinion pieces and news pieces. So I really appreciate it. But I'm excited to see what happens with that because EA is gonna talk.
Yeah.
And they're doing an evaluation to see how it's gonna go. So like everybody did it. Like Kotaku, Forbes, Bloomberg, they all put out stuff. Games Radar as well. So like it'll be big to see what happens with Anthem because like Anthem 2.0 could be really good. I have a feeling they're gonna Destiny it. It's gonna be good for 2 months after they fix it.
That's what they wanted to do though. In the first, like off the get go, like out the gate, that's what they wanted.
But I think they're gonna current Destiny it, not the Destiny that they wanted to follow. I think they're gonna hit the season. They're gonna start doing like
everything now until someone else makes a new system that works better, whether people enjoy more. We're not getting another system right now. Wait, Fortnite has
you mean a system?
The gaming landscape.
You mean a system that's been around for years and has shown like little to no problem and has kept their community engaged in it for years? Man, I hope that there's no games that came out on like March 25th, 2013 by the name of Warframe that have shown to be prosperous by doing something that's not a season model for the last 8 years.
Warframe's like the weirdest outlier though. That's the thing. Warframe like just exists, right? Like Warframe doesn't even really ask for anything. Like, this is what we're doing. And then it's like, okay. And like their community doesn't complain. They don't get
they love it. They love it.
They eat it up, honestly.
Just like I ate up my dinner.
They know what their community wants because they made the community. They garnered it. They didn't like try to people please everyone. You people please everyone, it's gonna be a problem.
And that's like the thing that jumps on it too is like it's a free to play game.
Yep.
It has a 95% liked by Google users.
It's just a good
It's
game.
a 9 out of 10 on
and I wish I
Steam.
played more of it, honestly. It's just like it's one of those things where I'm so far behind, I don't know if I'm gonna ever catch up on it. But that's on me, right? Like I could put the time into it, I could catch up. But
that's the only thing. But like that's the thing I like about it is they have the Prime releases. So if you don't want to grind for 20 hours to get a frame, you can buy it.
I have Prime Limbo, and I didn't even pay for it. I shouldn't have gotten it. It just randomly got it. Like it popped up in my reward.
They did frames. They gave frames away for a special event, and then they also gave frames away if you had a Twitch account.
That hasn't been given away for years. How'd you get that? And I was like, I don't know, man. I just got it. I didn't pay for it, so they were all like freaking out at me, and I was like, I don't know.
But it's just, I don't know. I think to say that like. I hate that gets overlooked as much as it does.
Oh yeah, no, it really does. Like I didn't even think about it until you just said it, honestly, because like I said, I haven't played much of it. Like we played it once and it was fun, but I just haven't played that much of it. And I've had issues like weird bugs on my Xbox, but that's on me too. So that's
It's,
It's not a broad
I would
like issue.
I would just look forward to seeing something do that. I think Outriders has a chance. I think Anthem had a chance to do what was done by Warframe. Like,
Yeah.
if I had been able to be like, here's different javelins, go do them, or like go on this quest to learn how to unlock, like how to build this javelin, and then you have to go and do a fetch quest for materials. Like, I would have still done that. Like, I would have gone and played their two. They had 2 strikes. I'd have played those 2 strikes so many times just to make sure I could try the new javelin. Like, that would have been so cool.
Chill, buddy. The 3rd one's coming in 6 months. Okay, 6 more months. 6 more months. 6 more months.
Hashtag Destiny 2.
6. Transmog. 6 more months.
Oh man. Oh, it sucks. It sucks.
I'm not saying Outriders is gonna be perfect, but I think it's it shows a lot of promise, and I'm
It's
excited.
also incredibly realistic.
Yeah. What it looks like it has a very it looks like Resistance meets what's that game that came out? Remnant? Yeah, that's my comparison. There we go. Resistance meets
Oh no.
that.
I just
Like
love,
art style wise, like aesthetic wise, I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just am super thrilled for it to be like solid.
Yeah. I get that, buddy. I do.
And I'm really hoping that it'll be solid. Because like as we talked about tonight, like we went a little off tangent and we talked about but that's the thing, right? That's the point of the podcast. We can talk about whatever we want.
Us never happened. Not once. No.
Not
me.
No happen.
Never go off subject ever.
Not ever. Chat. You're the ones who go off topic.
You definitely don't quote me on that either, because I'm not. I will neither confirm nor deny the legitimacy of this.
But I know there's going to be a lack of customability.
Yeah.
But I get beards, so I'm kind of okay with it. I didn't have a beard in Destiny. I would have totally.
As long as they're solid, it's fine. Like, even Destiny, people really don't complain about the character, because you put all the armor on and you don't see it anyway, right?
Well, there's a reason I keep my helmet on all the time now.
Well, the helmet stays on,
I'm just tired of seeing my face.
I get
my
that.
Destiny character became me in real life.
I go through phases. I'm like, I don't like this helmet. I'll go look at the face. I'm sick of the face. I've been looking at this for like 2 months. It's like,
I've been wearing the helm of Saint 14 for 3 years. I need to change what's going on.
I don't know. Saint 14 will never die.
I love that man.
Great. I love, like, I was talking about this the other day because I was playing the new Zombies map and everything. I was like, Russian search is so interesting. Like, despite, like, I think it's because of all the, like, enigma around it. It's just always a good time,
That's true. By the way, chat, if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys put them in, because when we're getting close to being done. So if you guys have any, put them in there, put them in the Gilded. We will read them before we go, and we will go off of them. We'll say, do all of our due diligence to do what we can.
I need to get better at opening up Gilded, because I just can't talk on it, so I don't even bother opening it.
No, I have it open, so it's not like it's a big deal.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's putting anything in there, so.
Imagine.
Right. What people ask questions? I'm really excited.
Yeah, no, it'll be good.
I think, like, I haven't felt this hype since Destiny 1. So hopefully it'll feel good for 6 months like Destiny 1 did, and then won't leave me feeling shortchanged.
If it makes me want to replay it, that will be the biggest thing that anything has done since,
I think,
like, the PS2 generation almost.
I think if I'm going to want to play a second character, that's going to be a huge thing for me. Do you really just... Really, chat? Hey, when are we getting a face reveal?
Well, no, I got it. Don't worry, I got it under
control. Yeah, you did. You got it. You got it. Yeah, you guys will see my real face after 1 million. I'll stop being a VTuber.
Yeah. Imagine choosing to look like this. Like, I'll do a face reveal at 3 mil. Okay.
God. Okay, fine.
I'm pretty sure
I will scorn just you, absolute idiots.
Oh my god, I'm absolute idiots. Like, when will you do a face reveal even though your camera's turned on?
Dude,
Huh?
it's just all of it, really.
When's you
It's
gonna do
just
it? Come on,
nailed it.
streamer. Dance like a monkey.
Yeah. That's you.
And you didn't even dance like a monkey first. You asked in the wrong space. We said gilded. Bam! Imagine if I wasn't kidding. Ah, yeah, I got you there, didn't I?
The thing is, he's not. He just knows that I'm gonna be like, "Why'd you do it? It wasn't worth it."
I know. I'm just messing with him.
If it was Twitch, he would ban you just to ban you.
No, I totally would. I'd undo it immediately, but
Yeah.
I'm like, that's funny though. I'd probably let you sweat it out for like, a good 30 seconds. Like, okay, all right, you know, a good little scam. Come on back in here. Come on. But,
So wait, what was the thing you found about people flying?
oh, that's fair. Wait, they can fly?
Well, you said something
no,
with this.
people can fly. No, that's like the name of the company.
Oh, okay.
They worked on Fortnite. I can go through the list if you want me to actually. Yeah, pull it up again.
Yeah, people can fly.
They worked on Gears of War Judgment, which is not a great one, but since then they've done Bulletstorm.
Oh, I loved Bulletstorm.
I never finished it.
It was so bad, but I loved it so much.
They also worked on the original Gears of War, which was good.
Yes, it was.
So Painkiller, I've heard mixed things about. Some people really do have a soft spot for it because it's like a Max Payne ripoff kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they worked on some popular things. You know what I mean? So and they've also worked on some popular garbage. So I feel like it's like we're really gonna be like neck and neck.
So that means that we then have to go and look at like the other company that's working with them, Square.
Yeah. True.
Square really hasn't dropped the ball on anything in the past 5 years.
Okay, I like that you said the last 5 years. So I was like, because if you gave them any more amount of time, I would have been like,
well,
remember?
Wait. Well,
But
I don't know. I heard mixed reviews on that one.
It's a whole egg simulator. It's really bad.
Like I get that Lightning is basically just Cloud version 2, but at the same time, you're bringing in younger generations. So.
Well, no, I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. Lightning being like the only good character makes sense that they brought only her back, and then some of the other side characters to be side characters. But like, the thing is, they established like all these characters. Then Lightning was the only one that was strong enough to get her own like spin-offs, plural. So it's kind of like Cloud, but even weaker. Because you get to play as the other characters, where in FF7 you don't get to play as the other characters. The original FF7, I should say. So,
yeah. And then they had Dissidia NT came out in 2015, so that was 6 years ago.
Dissidia is pretty popular too. Yeah, that's pretty popular.
Dissidia NT was trash.
Oh, was it? I don't.
Duodecim and the original one for the PSP were amazing. When this one came out, they added a couple. In my opinion, they added a couple things that were just god awful for the series. For the fighting. I just
heard the name. I was like, oh, that's pretty well known. But then you're like, oh no, it's terrible. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know anything about
Dissidia was really good. It was basically Super Smash Bros. Melee, Final Fantasy Edition.
That's pretty cool.
And it was awesome. And then they added they had you could do these light attacks that build up your brave meter or whatever. Oh, so and then you do massive damage with your other type of attack. And you do more damage based on how high you got your brave meter. But then they changed a couple things in NT that made it really did you guys really just do that? Did you really make the game that much more complicated for no reason? And it killed it for me. I really liked Dissidia and Dissidia Duodecim.
Yeah.
But
I'm Googling it.
NT was not fun.
That's fair. It's made by IO Interactive. Hitman is made by IO Interactive and published by Square.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
IO was really good too. I love IO. If IO was on this, I would be like, heck.
The new Hitman game looks really good too. So
I need to play all of them. I'm so behind. 1 and 2.
I think that this game's going to be good because I don't think Square will allow it to be released if it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think Square of the past, outside of what they did with NT, which I know some people probably it has an 81% positive review. So I'm probably in the minority for my hate of it, which is fine.
Well, you probably just like the older ones. I mean, I can relate to that. I understand that. I mean, that's because BioShock. It's fine.
Yeah. So outside of that, they haven't had a problem since Final Fantasy 13, which I still feel was kind of created for a younger generation.
And it kind of wasn't. It wasn't terrible. Like some people have gone back and still like can enjoy it for what it is,
Yeah.
even though it's a mess. Like it's one of those things where if you can still, if something can still be enjoyed for the mess that it is, there's still something to be said about
they're
that.
probably
You know?
they're probably their biggest mess in their entire career
Resident
was
Evil 6.
11. Was the first 11.
Going back to our original conversation from before we started, like it's like Resident Evil 6. It's the worst one, like pretty much definitively across the board by a lot of people. And I still enjoy it. It's a great action game. It's not a good horror game, which is what the series is supposed to be. But hey,
It's like, you know what, you ready for the connection we've been waiting all night for? It's like Star Wars. Even a bad Star Wars, outside of how I feel about episode 2, because I need to rewatch it and maybe give it another shot. Outside of like that, like I would still consider 8 of those movies of the start of, you know, outside of the side movies, like of the episoded movies.
episodic, yeah.
I would still say I would still rather watch 8 of them than like, you know, another movie. You know, like that's like I don't have a good comparison. It's just like I would prefer to watch those over something else. You know?
Yes.
It's
fine.
Episode 2 was dreadful. Clone Wars was amazing.
See, I enjoy episode 2 because I think it's funny, and I think that it's enjoyable enough. I get why you don't like the romance and whatnot, but I think that you go back and rewatch it, like, now it's not as bad.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, and that's fair. If I go back and rewatch it, I might like it more. Because that was the thing with episode 5. I didn't like it as much. It was my second least favorite one. Because of how slow it felt as a kid. But like
definitely when you get older, yeah.
Oh, now I'm like, oh yes. Oh,
I don't think I'm ever going to enjoy 9. I just can't wrap my head around ever enjoying 9. They really have to put out a lot of spin-off stuff to fix.
I have to go rewatch 9 because like my only problem with 9 is the dagger. That's it. And
the dagger's really bad. Sidious is pretty bad.
Like that would be my only thing because everything else in the book and listening to what happened in the book and getting that more balanced story, because the movies 7, 8, and 9, where they failed was the fact that they needed to be TV shows. Because there was so much going on.
Focus more on substance and less on like.
Well, and that's glamour. The thing. They wanted so much going on that they needed more time.
Yep.
And they didn't get more time because they were supposed to be movies. But the world they had created for 7, 8, and 9 needed 6 movies to fully delve in and understand it.
Well, they also needed more of a through line from the get-go to the end.
Yes, they needed to have only one director too.
I don't think they only needed one director. I'm fine with.
Or they needed to make sure they had a line, like they had a coherent conversation about what was going on.
When it started, like that was the thing. Like, they sat down with George. Like
JJ did what his thing.
Whole thing.
Yeah, JJ did his thing.
Yep.
Then the next guy was like, Ryan Annoyance was like, I hate the world and I hate Luke Skywalker, so this is what's happening. And then JJ's like, son of a, what am I supposed to do with this hot garbage? And you know what, JJ? You hit it out of the park for the hand you were frickin' dealt. Like, I don't know how, you got the 2 pair, but you didn't have anything when it was dealt to you. You had ace high when it was dealt to you, and you pulled out a 2 pair.
He pulled that out of his sleeve. He pulled that out of nowhere.
He pulled out a 2 pair out of his, like, you did it.
Like, hey, let's just find your ear. Hey.
He freaking Lando Calrissian'd. He Lando Calrissian'd the Star Wars series.
But then he threw it away.
He did.
And then it's like, wait, where'd it go?
I don't know. I don't even know that it was fully his fault that it got thrown away.
No, the editing became a mess. From what I've read, the editing got really, really bad with 9. Like, that's what took so long for the movie to come out in the first place.
It was just so... I had my problems with it. I agree Finn got robbed.
Finn got done so dirty.
Rose got written dirty. Rey got written dirty. Like, it...
Rey got written dirty. Rey got written as a character dirty. It wasn't even her dialogue.
No,
okay with most of her dialogue.
It was her story. Her story was dirty.
It's just like, oh, she's doing this. Well, guess who saves her? It's herself, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a woman saving herself. That's not what I'm saying.
I'm completely like. we were
I'm
here
saying
for
that,
it. I loved it.
Luke gets saved in the original trilogy more times than any Jedi does in the prequels by anyone.
George did, but George got bored and then wanted the money because he was bored making Star Wars movies. And then after they made 7, 8, 9, got mad about how they made 7, 8, and 9. After he sold it. George made his own mistakes.
George has done a lot of things. George was upset because of how the prequels were received, but now that the prequels are received better, I don't know.
Well, yeah, the prequels are only received better because 7, 8, 9 were a hot mess.
Yep. But that's the thing. I'd rather have some kind of consistency with some terrible CGI.
At least they were my hot mess.
They were my hot mess. What is this garbage heap?
Oh my gosh.
Mandalorian's still amazing, so it's okay.
Mandalorian. So I've been listening to Star Wars and Scotch. Great podcast. If you guys get a chance, go listen to it by Rare Drop. Really good. I now have some issues with Mandalorian.
No.
But there's there are issues, but I'm like, I don't care because I enjoyed the fan service. But like, Boba Fett, for just a small example, was completely useless and was a marketing ploy just for the Book of Boba. He did absolutely jack.
No. He's literally there to drive them around.
Yeah, he's a taxi. He's a taxi driver.
Well, he doesn't have a ship, which he still doesn't have a ship.
Yeah.
So
which
I guess he was just gonna.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm still here for it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% here for it, but I'm just like.
I'm here for it too.
I'm just like
See, that's
it
the thing.
sucks because
they still made the fight scene he did have was still I think
it was amazing, but it's
the most we've ever gotten for him.
It's true. The other time is like, if you think about it from outside of the EU, of EU, just with canon lore,
he's done nothing.
He's useless. Like,
I know.
Why should I care about him?
Finally, everyone's coming around to my side.
I mean, I don't now note, originally I had no opinion when we first talked about it. I was like, yeah, it's whatever, but it's definitely Boba Fett. I said that after watching the first episode. I was like, that's Boba Fett. Yeah. It's going to be,
oh, that's going to be Boba.
You know, the problem with Star Wars and Scotch are like, why didn't Boba kill Cobb? He could have killed Cobb Vanth and got his armors back.
Yeah.
Why did he wait 5 years? How did he get out? Like, did the armor get spit out and then the crate dragon got eaten? And then how did he not get acid on his face? Like, there's a lot.
Acid on his face. That's the
there was like, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, so as an EU character, he was spectacular. Like, he was Mandalore at one point, but like as a character in the Mandalorian, I'm like, I kind of get why people are like, he's useless and he doesn't need to be there.
I've said he was overrated ever since I watched the original movies because he does nothing.
Nope.
He takes credit for Darth Vader's capture of Han Solo.
Yep.
And then dies.
Not
anymore.
And then gets his Beskar jetpack smacked and it breaks with a stick. Just saying, there's some plot holes. Like, that thing wasn't supposed to be Durasteel. It was Durasteel in episode 2, because if it was his father's armor, then it was Durasteel. Then they changed it to Jango was a foundling, and so that means the armor's Beskar.
Yeah,
which means that the jetpack should have had Beskar plating on it.
They do whatever they want with Boba because depending on how people are feeling about
that's
him.
That's probably true. Yeah. No, that's completely fair.
I thought that he was all of Star Wars at this point, but
well, yeah. I'm still excited for the High Republic. I bought the second book in the series.
Except we begged for Finn and we didn't get.
Finn got done dirty because a very loud minority of the entire freaking population of the community are jackwagons.
Well, it's actually mostly because of China, but honestly,
there was a lot of backlash for him being cast in the first place.
No, I know,
and it was by the very loud group that I DM'd you because I don't want to say it. on the podcast.
Well, no, but that was a huge point because of their what's it called, the Chinese market. They literally had to take them
Yeah.
off the posters.
Like, it's stupid.
That's not okay. I don't care who you are.
Because
you don't think that.
I mean, but absolutely, that's what we're talking about. Like, that's still the problem.
Yeah. No, he's agreeing. We're
Yeah.
saying that. He just used a different word that he doesn't want to say for some
I
reason.
used
I'm
a different
like,
word that I don't feel like creating the drama just in case somebody thinks I'm talking about them because they didn't like Finn. I'm not talking
You don't
about
have to like
like
Finn.
if you didn't like the character, you didn't like the
terrible.
character. If you gave the character crap because of who he was, you're wrong.
Yeah. He did the best with the material he was given, but
He
it
did.
was not much at all.
No.
Ray!
Ray! The poor dude. The poor dude took a boat all the way frickin' out there to try to save her butt, and she's just like force push into the water. You're like, why? Why? You're stupid. Her freaking
I
like
feel like they wanted to make it so like happy-go-lucky, but you can't do that with Star Wars. Like they try to like do the MCU where they make jokes every once in a like every so often. You know what I mean? Like they have like a certain quota to meet for jokes per like minute.
yeah.
That's almost how it feels. Like that's my another issue I have with
Well,
Sequel Children.
the thing that makes it tough is it was a series built for kids that have all grown up.
Yep.
And now that all the kids have grown up and want to like see more, but it's still like made for kids.
The same audience it was originally made for, yeah.
But I will 100% say I feel like Rose got done dirty too. I'll say that. Absolute idiots.
I liked episode 8 before everything happened.
I liked episode 8. I can see where people were annoyed with what happened with Luke.
I get that, but at the same time, I thought it was a very bold strategy. Honestly, and it kind of works. I don't think it doesn't work at all.
I'm mad that he didn't. I wish that he had gotten to show up earlier in 7.
I always say he showed up earlier in 7 and was still in 9. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But when you think back, though,
Ryan
it's
Johnson.
We're thinking very like fan wise. So if we're being like completely objective, like how long do we have Obi-Wan for in the original trilogy? How long do we have Obi-Wan for? Screen time wise, how long do we have him for?
20 minutes, maybe half an hour.
Half an hour probably with use the Force, and then a little bit in Empire, and then a little bit in Return of the Jedi.
Well, I was talking about in episode 4. We got him about half an hour to 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, like the whole original trilogy, because we're talking about the sequel trilogy.
Maybe out of the 6 hours we got him, maybe 1
hour,
1 to 1:15.
So maybe if that, that's still pushing it for me.
And most of that was like 15 minutes at the end of 6.
Yep.
5 minutes in 5. Well, no, 10 to 15 minutes in 5 because he did have the talk with Yoda.
Yep.
So we're at 30 minutes and then 45 minutes in 1. So hour 15 being generous.
Yeah, for being I wasn't being super semantic about it. I was just saying that we got more Luke technically than we got with Obi-Wan. So I'm like, because we're like so like pro Luke, obviously everyone loves Luke. But that's very like not giving us what we wanted and trying to do your own thing because you think it's what's the best for the franchise. Something.
I don't know. The thing is, I really agree with Mark Hamill.
Oh, I did too.
Like that's the problem. Like
I'm being complete devil's advocate.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. Like I think with how Luke was like how Luke was portrayed from how the original actor who portrayed him said that doesn't fit my character work and was still forced. Like he even said in an interview that Ryan Johnson was trying to force him to ignore C-3PO. And he's like, no, I wouldn't ignore. Luke wouldn't ignore C-3PO. He would say something to him. Like it was big, like it was big. He's supposed to do it. So it's like, and Ryan Johnson caved and let him say hi to C-3PO in 7. But it was just like, or in 8. But it was like, he had to fight tooth and nail for something that he was like, no, this is how the character is.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the thing that really got on my nerves about it, was like, if the person
that's
who
always
like
the
the person who
problem.
portrayed the character is like, dude, this isn't how I did the character work for this character.
Yeah.
Like, you have the source material.
Yeah. We all have the source material, yeah. And
Like-
he has like even more of the keys than
Yeah.
anyone else. But I think that like I don't know, I think how like it was like there's a collaborative process when you have a director and an actor, and you need to there has to be give and take. And like when there's the director that's just so steadfast in his vision, that's fine if it's your script, you wrote the movie, you did everything, you're directing it. This is Star Wars and you're in the middle of a trilogy and you're acting like you own the dang thing. That is my issue. I had no problem until I knew about all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was fine when I went into it. I was like, okay, so we're really going out there with Star Wars now. You can teleport things. You can like Skype call through the Force. Okay, all right. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Fine. And then he just like
the thing is like
really tanked it.
I can actually like understand that.
Yeah.
More.
Well, it works.
I can understand that
but
even more, just because it's like the mysticism, right? The mysticism of.
And that's what you want with Star Wars. You want that. Like, that's why I was okay with it. Like, everyone hated it. And I was like, I'm okay with this.
I was like, no, like
My
the Force
came in with Canto Bite. That was a huge issue for me. And Rose at the end. We don't win this war by killing the things we hate. What do you mean? That's how wars are fought. That's literally how it's done. I get what you're saying, and you're so wholesome, but it's so cringy and painful.
They ruined her character.
They played her like a fiddle, and then I guarantee she was like, "Are you sure you want me to say this? Like, I can't. You don't want me to say any other lines? Try another line or anything?
Nope,
just
that's
for,
it."
like, a different. Because Kelly Marie, I just butchered her name. Kelly Marie Tran, the actor who plays Rose, is a great human being. Like, I've watched interviews with her. I was like, okay, let me see, because I wanted to see if like everyone freaking out at her was founded. It's not. People are just terrible when they want to raise their pitchforks and freak out at something. They pick a person and they just target. Well, that's not okay. No, nope. It's Ryan Johnson's fault at the end of the day.
And the thing is, that's the thing that was. It's like the conversation we had the other week. Like, that's the constant problem with the Star Wars community.
Well, and it's not just Star Wars, like we said.
Oh, it happens with everything.
The loudest part of any community is always the worst 99% of the time, unless it's super wholesome. Which good luck trying to find a franchise that's been around as long as Star Wars that's wholesome still. But
I'll wait.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Even Doctor Who's not like, it's so bad.
No, everyone's like, Matt Smith's the best, David Tennant's the best. They like argue over which was the best Doctor instead of like.
We had a peaceful conversation about that at D&D. We were talking about all the different Doctors and what we liked and what we didn't like about them. It was nice. It was wonderful, because we're all level-headed people, though. But like, we're not like passionate. Like, I bleed Matt Smith.
I like Matt Smith. I like David Tennant for different reasons. They're all like good for what they are. That's the thing. None of them are like.
And then I couldn't get into Capaldi. I couldn't, and I never tried with Jodie Smith. Either. I never tried with Jodie.
I haven't tried her yet either.
I
have to try. I might give her a chance.
The problem.
I'm down to watch it.
So the thing is, the problem diffuse is my problem with the like, I hate Jar Jar the character versus Jar Jar the person is, back in '99 there was not the separation. Yeah, and it was hard. And it's hard as a human being when everybody's like, I hate this character, to separate yourself from that character. Like, being an actor and like going through plays and stuff like this, and I guess this is one of the things that like I have a little bit of a different.
You don't have to say sorry.
Oh, well, yeah, don't say sorry for not seeing Doctor Who. It's whatever. There's so many seasons, it's so much. But I think my thing with like, as going through and doing acting and stuff like that is like, it's tough for us to separate when people say they didn't like the character. And so like,
I Skylar White, but I praise the actress every time I watch it, because I'm like, she made me dislike her that much. Same thing with Cersei.
Oh yeah.
You have to really get her under my skin for me to hate you. I
think the thing is like, there are characters that are built to make you feel negatively.
Oh yeah. Well, and then upon a rewatch, you're like, oh, I kind of get where they're coming from. They might actually be more level-headed on the situation.
But I think the fact of like, with Jar Jar, he was supposed to be comedic relief.
Yep.
And I 100% blame George for everything. We've talked about this. We both blame George for for everything that happened with that character. But what makes it hard is even if you don't blame the actor, and I'm not talking about you, Diffuse, I'm talking about like the entire, like, I'm talking about like the community, right? When you say something like negative about Jar Jar, the way that an actor thinks about that is they take it as personal criticism.
That's why I always
whether they mean to or not, it's what happens because they invest their soul, a part of their soul, into the character. It's how acting works. If you're a good actor, you're investing part of yourself into it.
Yeah.
And so when somebody doesn't like it,
it's separate yourself though a little bit so that that doesn't happen.
You do, but it's not easy.
No, and I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, obviously.
And Diffuse, nobody's saying that you are trying to hate the actor. That's not what I'm saying at all.
No, we're not. Stop.
Like, that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's hard for the actor to differentiate it because they put a lot into it.
The point went right over it. This is the point. Diffuse went right over your head. Right over your head. Right. Point over your head.
I don't think he was supposed to be similar to Ahsoka at all.
No.
He was a mocked life form for the fact that he was dumb. And that he was putting Napoleon Dynamite in Star Wars, basically. Like, if you want a way to think about it, like it was Napoleon Dynamite put into Star Wars with a couple of other problems added to it. And it didn't work the way that it was intended to work because the comedic relief in Star Wars never comes from somebody doing something stupid. It comes from somebody being sassy. Like Obi-Wan saying something sassy has more of an impact than Jar Jar tripping on a pod racer. Because it makes you think more. It makes it's a different level of humor.
Yeah, and it was in the depth of like there was no depth to the character. It wasn't like, oh, we feel bad for Jar Jar because everyone's making fun of him. We understand why they're making fun of him. We feel the same way.
You were made to feel like he was a lower life form.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they literally designed him like that. Like Dave Filoni and George together did kind of repair Jar Jar's image in Clone Wars. He definitely went
a little bit,
further. He went a lot further, at least in the Clone Wars, but it's still not good. It's like putting a Band-Aid on your poop. Just flush it down the toilet at that point.
It's like putting a Band-Aid on your arm being chopped off. It stops like a little bit of the blood.
Just flush the toilet. Just get it down there. I mean, I like your analogy. It's not bad. I'm just saying, like, just get.
No, I think Padme in episode 2 felt that way to me. In episode 1, it was like she's trying to hide who she is, and there's so much other problems that like she has to be like this boring character so that she doesn't draw attention to the fact that she's possibly the queen.
Yeah, no,
that's the problem in 1.
Spy. In 2, it makes sense that you're saying that because like she definitely could have given like way more emotion. So could Anakin because it's just them two. There's no reason why they couldn't have just been nonchalant and been themselves.
Yep. Agreed. I 100% agree with 2. I don't agree with 1, but.
I still think 2's bad. I love 2 because of how bad it is, but that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I understand. I'm just. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us, so we don't continue to go that much more over an hour in a 15 minutes. So, that being said, again, thank you guys. The podcast is ending. We'll stay live for a little bit to continue the chat with you guys. So make sure you guys come out live to the podcast so that way you guys can talk to us in post show. But that being said, podcast listeners, thank you so much for listening. You can check this out anywhere that you can listen to podcasts pretty much. You can watch it on East Coast Guild's website and on their YouTube. That all being said, we hope you guys have a great day. Stay awesome. Do great things. Please make sure you guys go out and support East Coast Guild. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I hope you guys have a great day. Adiós.
Au revoir.